Alrighty, matches live yet again. Eternal Fire versus Sinners Esports. Eternal Fire on that CT side. Sinners over on the T. Hopefully they have a unique strategy to get things going, because they got to get it rolling fairly quickly if you are on this T side. It needs to be decently fast-paced. And so far, it looks like this one's going to be Zontaris making his way down into vents here. Wants to catch him out if they do try for a vents drop, but that is not the name of the game just yet for Sinners. They're still going to be playing this one out slowly, tossing some utility onto this A site. Could be an A site rush. So far, it looks like, well, it's going to be a more to be able to find one. BC can watch and give him fight trades, though, as it's brought down into a 2 vs 4. Advantage for going the way of Eternal Fire, but that will be traded back as Oscar now left in a 1 vs 2. With the Glock, wins his fight. Now stuck in this 1 vs 1 here. He is 3 HP to his name, and Galax has certainly more to work with. That will go into the favor of Eternal Fire. First round, hard-fought round coming out for Eternal Fire, but Sinners making it difficult there in the pistol. Coming into the second round, force up now. We're going to be seeing Deals Tech 9s out of the center squad. Meanwhile, over there on Eternal Fire, they have got themselves those French from us as the AUG, and of course the SSG to try and clean things up. A little bit of early tag damage going both ways currently, but not much else to speak with. Only Issa coming out the worst of it. Of course, Calix there to clean up house with the AUG. That's going to deal a lot of helpings of damage. And Oscar going to be able to find a nice little few taps onto Issa to try and trade it back down into their favor. Calix smoked out of his mind. Now he's going to get smoked out of position, but Zontaris coming up to back him up over here at ramp will win his 2 fights. As Theo does get the 2 trades. Nicely done there, but it won't be enough. Good damage done. Going to be detrimental to the economy, but not enough for Sinners to get a bomb plant to get a buy into this round. So we're going to be looking for that 4th round buy as Sinners save into this one, buy into the next. Eternal Fire having a strong showing here to begin with. Oh, Zontaris Glex gonna be able to get the first 2. Of course, just upgraded pistols. WOXİC is SSG ringing out. Gonna be able to find 2 tags and 1 frag. The 3rd round will be collected there fairly easily, but now we're into the all-important 4th round for the side of Sinners. This is a must-win round in any respect that you look at it. They've got themselves these AKs to work with. It's their first full buy. Oscar should be able to afford himself the AWP as well, but he will opt for an AK. Initial shot out, WOXİC. Now he's got that up. He's a deadly force to behold, and he's going to be able to find out Shock there, playing aggressive. Going to be able to find a second. That flash working into his favor. Just like that, this round kind of being shut down here for Sinners. They got to play carefully now. WOXİC playing as aggressive as he is with backup. It's going to prove to be such a nail in the coffin for the round if he does find one more. Nissa finding Zedco pretty much seals the deal, leaving it all down to Oscar and Beastique. Makes his way around, finds the initial, not tagged down at all. Starts to make his way towards his A site, uses a flash to try and gain himself an advantage, will win his fight. Still at 100 HP. This is working out beautifully for them. They'll be able to get this plant now. Beastique still hanging up in the rafters. So Oscar tries to make his way around the site to try and get a more advantageous position. WOXİC whiffing that shot as Oscar nails him through the side of the wall there. The concrete giving way to his death. And just like that, Calix last man standing. 1 versus 2. Beastic being the hero of this round. Really looking good right now. Alex will be able to catch out Oscar. Beastic's got to play this rather safe. Doesn't want to overdo it, and Alex won't have time to get defused. That'll be all she wrote for the round. SADECE Esports rebounding there as Beastic pulls out some heroics. Finding himself a 3K into the round. Will claim Sinners their first. Match pause coming through. I'm not sure who this will be coming from just yet. Might be coming from Eternal Fire. Could be coming from Sinners into this situation. It's only 3-1. Maybe there's tech difficulties coming through. I'm not sure just yet. Couldn't tell you the information, unfortunately. Coming into the fifth now, we see a full buy. An XM in the hands of a imoRR there. Probably going to sit on top of Hut. Something we do see out of Oscar fairly often here on their CT side. But, of course, Oscar going to catch out WOXIC there. Gets blinded and does not get into position in time and will be found out. That's going to be that AWPer dropping. That's such a huge impact frag as well for Sinners to work with. Beastic missing that shot could prove to be a problem here in the long run. That's information gained there for Eternal Fire with not much damage done. As Zontar does find one, and more will fall. And Neo there for the refrag, waiting it out. Now Instant Klex, last man standing. Two last men standing, rather. Looking to try and find some equalizers into the round. They don't want to overbear just yet. They know the op from Oscar is a deadly force to behold. But the information shall be given there, and I think the save call is going to be made. Yeah, save call being made. That's going to be Sinners gaining themselves a second round here. Allowing some momentum to be built as Eternal Fire are going to be stuck down to these two rifles. They shouldn't be able to afford themselves a buy into the next. So saving these two rifles over can be critical mass. Sinner still opting to hunt, though, to a degree. I don't think they're going to find them in time. The ult there was not retrieved for Eternal Fire. They're just opting to keep the A1S and the AUG in hand. Now 2-3. Now a slow round coming out from the side of Sinners. Don't want to overdo things just yet. Starting to toss their utility towards this A side. That should signal approach for them. Starting to make their way through. But, oh, imoRR going to be there with the taser to find one. Neo going to be able to find the refrag, though, if he finds a second as well. Now the side of Eternal Fire have to play in the retake in a 3 versus 4 manner. Things not looking too great for them here. This is at a severe disadvantage coming into the retake, especially with the weaponry that they have. They're just going to be looking to try and gain some damage, maybe gain a little bit more. But I think that's going to be all she wrote, as the AUG will be saved over. And the Deagle's going to be there to assist in that, just in case the AUG does go down. But yet another round for the side of Sinners Esports. as they pick themselves up a third there. 3 in a row. Good start. That flash a little bit late there, as Alex does with the good damage done. A little bit of damage done there for Eternal Fire. They need to do a little bit more. But, of course, the Econ now into their favor, allowing them to buy fully up. Good util as well in hand. This can be such a pivotal round for the side of Eternal Fire. But, of course, only time can tell who's going to come out on top here. Sinners, they have a little bit to work with. They should be able to buy into the next regardless of the outcome here. Making that quick push outside, looking to make their way into secret. HE dealing the damage, and more catching quite a bit there. As Neo and Oscar do get tagged down. Oscar catching the worst of it. Now looking to make their way onto this beast side. They gotta be careful because the Opera of WOXIC already posted up. Not to mention Zontaris wanting to take the fight over here. We'll spot the head of Shock, but disengages. Oh, Zontar able to find 2 as WOXIC finds a 3rd. Just like that, this round done, dusted. A bit unfortunate there for the side of Sinners. SB Stika and Oscar, last 2 men standing, don't really have time to retrieve or the HP on Oscar to work with. Yeah, Oscar and Beastique opting to save rifles over. They didn't necessarily need to. An op could have been purchased up, and they have the money for the AKs that they need. But to each their own. That early frag coming out there from Zontaris. That's going to be such a huge detractor there from the side of Sinners. As the Moore finds one as well. Zontaris should be able to double himself up and bring it down to a 2 versus 4. Just like that, Neo and Oscar lost 2 men standing. And through the smoke, Oscar found out. Oh, such a quick round. Such a decisive round from Eternal Fire there. Going to be able to pick up their 5th. Sinners looking lackluster there. Right now, Sinners still they're still on the heels. But that could fall by the wayside here if they're not careful. Right gap in the smoke. This round being played out slowly. Sinners already at a disadvantage. But Shock peeking out, finds 2, but Zontaris and WOXIC to clean up the rest. Oh, God, WOXIC so quick right now. Oh. WOXIC looking clean. Also, someone just made a comment about me being a VTuber character. I do not know how to feel about that. Coming into the 10th now, 6-3. Eternal Fire leading on their CT side. And Center stuck onto Deagles. Push coming on through. Oscar and Zedko able to find one each before Beastie does get traded. Now Zontar is looking to try and find a refract. We'll be able to find it onto Zedko. That should be the bomb getting planned there as Neo finds one on the clacks. He will be caught out there. Ooh, bomb plant not secured. Bit unfortunate there. They really needed that for their econ to really get things going. But a 7th round for Eternal Fire. As Center's faltering a little bit here on their T side, should be able to have a rebuttal coming into this rifle round. Oscar's on the op once again. If they don't do it here, things could start to really snowball out of control and deteriorate coming into the rest of this half. Of course, there's only a few rounds left in it, but things could get dicey rather quickly. A1S spam. Very sad, chat. It's going to be able to find the initial one onto Zedko. That's the first pick that Eternal Fire need to get things going. Nicely done. Zontar is just all over the place today. Looking really clean. Him and Nessa already bringing this down to a 3 versus 5. And Sinners can't really touch that CT side just yet, but this right here might be what we need to see. Claxon will find the initial shock there for the refract, brings it down to a 2 versus 4. This round, not looking good though. It's looking a little hazy. Zontar is able to find one to shock Oscar there to respond back with one onto Issa. Oh, the timing on that's just so good for Zontares. Their CT side looking very strong here for Eternal Fire. They need to keep that momentum going into the second half though. Right now, WOXIC and Zontar doing a lot of the leg work here for Eternal Fire, and Moore and Issa not able to really activate how they need to. Just might be that they haven't had the chance, but they're both sitting down at 4 kills. Going to be able to find the initial shock there for the refract. Looking for a little bit more. Oh, the peak shock to be able to find WOXIC out. And Morgan will be dropping 1, but Zedko there to drop him back. Just like that, this has gotten rather pricey here for the side of Eternal Fire. Ooh, but it's lying in wait for Neofrag to peek his head out. Will be able to find the initial. And Zedko just wants to plant. Bomb does get planted into the position. That should allow for a lot of money into the next round. A good eco there, but not enough there to get things going.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
13th round of the first half. Eternal Fire, quite a hefty lead to work with. Currently 6 up over the side of Sinners. Of course, rifle round coming through. I've said this once before, this can be such an important round for Sinners Esports. They really need to activate and utilize their weaponry correctly here. They've been playing a little slow the past few rounds. They've tried to get themselves over towards the A and B side a number of times, but they just haven't been able to make it work. Alrighty, yeah, no, do that. That works. Shock gonna be able to find that initial window more. That's gonna start to open things up towards that B site as they make their way down towards Secret. Now Clack's not in a great position either. Gets found out by Shock. Shock having a field day this round. Just like that, a perfectly clean take, no damage dealt to their center squad. And Eternal Fire knows it. They know they need to save here. That's going to be a 4th there for Sinners. Sinners at least looking to put 5 on the board here. Don't want to drop it there at 4-11. Fourteenth round now. Sinners have a little bit of momentum to work with into this one. They need to keep that going, and they really should try to preserve that momentum into the next half. As Beastic does find that first. That's exactly what we need to see. Zontar has already taken out the server. That's one of the top frags ever for Eternal Fire. That's been doing a lot of the leg work. Done and dusted already. But of course, some more there to respond back. Will eliminate Shock as Neo is there for that refrag in a quick second. Neo frag good for 1. Ooh. Things being shut down there. WOXIC able to get himself a trade. Now they know the location of Clax. Now they can be ready here. Oof, never mind. There we go. Zedko going to be found out there, but Oscar going to be there for the revenge shot as 5 is put onto the board there for Sinners. Not the most competitive T-half, but so far a good score line to put down. More back on an XM. Sending over towards Hut is exactly where he needs to be. Should be able to utilize that there. But right now, Sinners Esports making sure they don't overextend onto either of these sites just yet. They don't want to be picked out too easily. You want to play it slow, carefully, methodically. Utility is being prepped to hit towards this A site possibly, but it does look like they're going to throw a cross smoke. Something interesting might be is that they might be throwing this as a bait. Bomb's still up towards lobby. They're going to make their way in. Many shots out of Issa. Going to get for one more. Good for the trade as Issa does fall to Neofrag's rifle. Neofrag able to find himself a second as well. Now knows the dangers from behind. WOXIC going to be able to find out Oscar as he peeks out into his scope. Oh, very close there. Nearly finds himself a second. And oh, dear God, WOXIC brings it down into the 1 versus 3. Neo can't cope, and that will be a 10th for the half there for Eternal Fire. 10-5 there in the 15th. Now Sinners switching to their CT side need to put up a stellar defense in order to disrupt the fire that Eternal Fire has been putting out. Match is live once again. A little bit of a pause there coming out. There in between the half. Allow these teams to think things through. And now Sinners. They've got their backs against the wall here. Eternal Fire already in the double digits of Sinners. It's fallen behind there on their T side. Just wasn't able to cut their teeth on the Eternal Fire defense. Of course, that's all subject to change now, as they prep for the Eternal Fire onslaught to begin. It looks like they want to make their way towards ramp. They're starting to wheedle the way around. Shock gonna be there to find. Ooh, getting dinked actually. He responds back with some tags, but it won't be enough. Oh, a bit unfortunate there as Mystic does get eliminated. Now the rotates coming on through. Sinners so far not putting up what they need to, but Neofrag responding back with 3. Shut things down as Zedko finishes it off himself. That will be a 6th round for the side. For Sinners, their CT side pistol looking good. Let's see how good their 4-spy round is. Slowly but surely. Eternal Fire, they're wheedling their way around. They're throwing across smoke here. I think that's a fake though. His bomb is making its way towards ramp. Luckily Shock not budging from his spot just yet. He's gonna be the player to make the call there. He's gonna be able to find out one. He needs to do a little bit more here though. Oof. That's worst case scenario. Shock caught out there, and a rifle now at the disposal of the side of Eternal Fire. But luckily, Neofrag and Co. already here to help shut things down. He'll gonna be able to find one as Oscar starts to engage as well. Will be able to find an initial and gets Issa as well. Takes the fight. This thing will end it. The 7th round will go the way of Sinners. Match pause being called here. I'm going to assume this is from Eternal Fire. Match pause has concluded here. And Eternal Fire back on a deco. Shots coming through. Oscar gonna be find one, looking for another. G-Steak able to eliminate more. Round looking to be concluded here as the boys of Eternal Fire gets stuck behind red box and eliminated. Aggression coming out from Sinner is going to be punished there as Oscar does fall. Shock there for the refrag though. So far, slow, methodical movement coming out from both squads. Stick wants to pick up that AK-47 to bring over into the next. And Eternal making their way down towards this B side through Secret. There should be a bit of noise made here. The Sinner should be looking to respond here. Good shots from Shock. Gonna be able to find the initial. WOXIC there for the refresh. Down to a 2 versus 2. Trying to get down to even. Shock good for 1. Now leaving it down to just the boys of Shock and Neo. Of course, Shock gonna be caught there by Klex. Now Neo frag. Left all alone in a 1 versus 2. We need to pull off a huge clutch here in order to do so. Pops open single doors. No one there to respond just yet. Spots one out. Tosses the molly up there into observation. Taps the bomb. That's going to force Eternal Fire's hand here as WOXIC has to make a push. He taps it and holds it. I'm not sure they know he's doing that. Klax might be able to catch him out, though. This is unfortunate there. No kit. Well, it'll be eliminated there by Klax, putting an 11th on the board. Really unfortunate there. He had to hold it at that point. If he had the kit, things could have been looking better, but unfortunately for him, it wouldn't have been enough. Oscar able to find 1. That's an initial frag. This is a full buy round, so more will eliminate him, but Zeko there for 2 brings it down to a 2 versus 4. The man advantage going the way of Synergy Esports, as Essa does find 1 outside into mini. Now down to just the last 2 members of Sinners as WOXIC eliminates Neo frag. Double ups. Last 2 left, and oh dear God, Shot caught. Will be eliminated, and just like that, Oscar, last man standing, stuck at a 2 versus 1 with an AWP, and the bomb headed to B. This is not the position you want to see Sinners in, as Eternal Fire look to put a 12th on the board. Looks like the man has a plan, looking to come out into this one, and oh God! So quick, both players so fast, but WOXIC just a little bit faster. Gonna collect themselves a 12th there for Eternal Fire. And oh dear God, WOXIC, what a shot. Timing on that was just perfect for him. Now Sinner stuck back on USPS's. We're looking, trying to deal damage here as Eternal Fire edge ever closer to match point. A little bit of noise being made outside an end lobby. So I should hear the lobby drop, but of course, they can't push into this one whatsoever. Still looking like to do so. That's going to be a bit of a mistake there. He'll get punished for that. Punished severely as he's taken away from the round with the only upgrade pistol. Just like that B-stick being caught as well. Neo still in a position to do work. Will be able to get 1, but not 2, and that will be it. Unlucky there. Missing his initial dink. Threw him off. And 13 on the board now for the side of Eternal Fire as Sinners falling behind. Now, their back's really against the wall here. They need to shore up their defenses. Nicely done, Zeko. Gonna be able to find 1. Issa and Klax able to find 2. They're down to a 4 versus 3. advantage. Being traded back and forth. Neil gonna be able to grab 2. Leaves it down to Issa and WOXIC. The trade from the HE gonna be good from Issa. And Shock still looking to take the fight here with WOXIC. Ooh! Barely wins that by the skin of his teeth. And Issa dropping down there into Vince quickly. Wants to go ahead, get a plant. Closes single door. He's going to be hearing these players. And ooh, Oscar disrupts him. Eliminates him very quickly there, as a 9th will be preserved there from Sinners. Not letting Eternal Fire hit that 14th yet. Coming into the 8th round of the second half now. Eternal Fire, they have a bit of a lead to work with. The Sinners could get some momentum going after that previous round. So far, so slow. Lots of spam shots coming on through. Neo wanting to play aggressive. Will be the aggressor. Be able to find 2. The bomb does get dropped. They have that location now. So more will be able to find the refrag. Eternal Fire looking to set up themselves. Cross smoke. Issa gonna be there to utilize that. He's gonna be able to find out Oscar there in secret. Second cross smoke. That's not really there to help him out too good. Bit unfortunate. Zedko does find him out there in the gap in the smoke. Zedko will be able to find a few more tags as well. Zedko hearing his location. He's starting to make the call saying, hey, it's going to be a retake on B onto this one. That was a bit unfortunate there for Eternal Fire. They start to make their way up towards A. And Beastie and Zedko lying in wait. Going to be able to eliminate both of them. Shock was in position for B, but didn't need to activate into that one. And Eternal Fire just making the wrong call there. Trying to go up there through vents as Beastie peeked it. Shots off Oscar. Just sheer aggression coming through. Yeah, they want to collect as many rounds as possible. They certainly are doing that now. They want this round done, gone, and out of the game as they put 11th. Holding no shots there. And of course, the full buy now out of Eternal Fire. These AKs could be the difference maker. It turns out that Galil will be, as Neo does lose his life. Slow passive. They want to start positioning themselves for A. SADECE will be the player to shut things down. We'll be able to find one. Of course, WOXIC there for the refrag. That's going to be a lot of information called there for Sinners, and they're going to start to respond to it. Beastique and Shot going to be eliminated, though, leaving it down to Oscar. Of course, Oscar not going to want to try and go for this one. As it's left into a 1 versus 4. Save call going to be made. His econ not looking the greatest here. His team's econ looking alright. They should be able to afford themselves that full buy into the next. But he certainly won't be able to afford himself an op if he does opt to try and fight this. Unfortunately, Graham WOXIC going to bind him. But Eternal Fire edging their way closer. 15. Default coming out here from Eternal Fire. They're looking to play aggressive as Zedco is too, but unfortunately for Zedco, he will be traded post-haste there by Zontares. He will be able to find Issa, but it's a one and done as Neo does get the refrag, and Oscar through the smoke will be good for one as well. Just like that, shutting down the attack that Eternal Fire was putting up. This is a very quick rifle round, not allowing Eternal Fire to do anything really. We're able to find that initial frag onto Zedco, but very quickly thereafter, Sinners just shut down the round, putting up a tight defense and not letting anyone past. Now, Eternal Fire reset back to pistols, Mac 10s, and of course, a beautiful bottom hero AK. It's looking to play quick. Oh, shock. The op going to be eliminated there. But Neo there to pick up the damage. Will be able to get 2 as the refrag does come through from Zontares to equalize things back out into their favor. It's going to be able to find one more. As this round kind of shut down here, unfortunately, here for Sinners. This Beastique now the last man standing. Won't be able to try and retake into this one, and we're going to be staring at match points here for Eternal Fire. As they could be one away from ending the matchup. Of course, Beastique going to be able to find one. It's not enough to get things really to go for if he found WOXIC somehow. No, that's not going to happen. Match pause coming through. Sinners Esports down by 3. Need to try and preserve their existence in this bracket if they want to move on to the closed qualifiers today. If not, they need to play in the next open qualifier next weekend. Down low there. That's a start you'd like to see. Once he does tag down that 11 HP mark, but of course, still plenty of life to live with that AWP. be able to find one through the smoke. Alex. But of course, Beastique gonna be eliminated there by the AÇIK, as he was severely tagged down. The Sinners have to work within this one. Is the fact that WOXIC is as low as he is. Oscar gonna be able to find one. Leaves it down to a 3 versus 3. Now WOXIC and Co. Look to make their way around over here towards Mini. We're looking to deny Sinners this round. Which could be rather unfortunate. One player we do need to watch for here is going to be Zadko, but he's going to be caught out immediately. As Shock does respond back with one of his own, but the Molly pushing him out of position. Neofrag able to find one. But imoRR now in a 1 versus 2. Knows where both of them are. He heard the noise. Finds the shots on the Shock. He does get tagged down. Shots are good for imoRR for 1 and 2. And unfortunately there for Sinners. They fall out. And Eternal Fire move on. 16. Done, dusted, collected. And GG's and